Hello and welcome, Podracing fans, to another exciting tournament event. We're still in the group stage here, where kingbeandip and Paige will be facing off. I'm joined today by Mikey Berger.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Lightning. This is going to be a pretty interesting match, I think. Two very good players. And we're near the end of the group stage now, I believe. I think the deadline is the 20th.
Yes. There might be an update on that, but we'll see in the Discord.
Yeah. And again, a track that's really been pretty popular, actually, throughout this tournament so far. And the Gauntlet, we've seen quite a lot of picks with this as the first track, and with a lot of the run with the skip as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on with this first one.
Yeah, having this in qualifiers is sort of a guarantee that all players are sort of brushed up on the latest strats.
Yeah, that's a good point.
With the weird hop there, and then actually a recent development since qualifiers has been the new version of the bowl cut, which I don't know if either player is prepared, but we'll see.
Yeah, I noticed that. I've not tried it myself yet, but it certainly a very interesting idea.
Looks like both players are bringing along Gasgano to clear out those rocks at the end tube.
Yeah, unless your name's Domre, in which case you play Gasgano here.
Oh, what? No, are you thinking of Renegade?
I thought it was Domre. I think he was playing somebody else. I think he had a gentleman's agreement to play.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of the Davy tourney.
Ah, that's true. He did play Gasgano, actually. Yeah.
Oh no, that was amateur circuit. What am I thinking of? I guess I'm confused. Oh, no, it was Vengeance.
I think he played Gasgano on multiple tracks, to be honest.
All right, well, what happened with Paige there? I might have missed the jump there.
Yeah, she had that problem actually in warm-up. That was what I noticed, yeah. That's obviously costly for time.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky to get that. Both players taking it safe around that bend. And here comes the bowl. Looks like King Bean's going for it. Oh. Paige going with the older version. And yeah, you can see there's already a bit of a gap between them, but now it seems to have widened. And a death from Paige.
Yeah, King Bean doing his traditional approach of high risk, high reward strategies.
Yeah, he's coming through very clean here. The sub 140 first lap.
Yeah, perhaps boosting more than he needs to in the Uvo tube, but I don't think that's going to matter too much for the moment.
Paige 10 seconds behind. That's going to be a tough gap to close here unless we can count on a mistake from King Bean, which is somewhat unlikely, it looks like.
Yeah, I guess the shortcut probably makes up about 1.5 seconds or so, like per lap.
Yeah, between a death and those couple mistakes, yeah, it's going to be tough to make up.
Well, she got the boost this time over that section.
See if he goes for it again. He's taking the left side. He's going with the older version. Seems to have, I don't know, maybe he's better off playing it safe second lap. He's not tempting fate yet.
Maybe just felt it was a bit too risky. I don't know. It's
yeah,
kind of interesting actually.
Which is
change
seems to be uncharacteristic. Oh, wait a second. A rare death from King Bean. But he's still in the tube. Paige still has a ways to make it to the tube there. They're a whole zero gravity tube apart.
Yeah, very easy to catch the side of the walls just before entering the tube there. A 140 lap from Paige, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, much better than first lap. Let's see how this jump goes. All right, she makes it.
Yeah, slightly risky line from King Bean, very aggressive line onto the second jump, I thought. But he's got away with it.
Paige just barely making it across that slow terrain with an engine fire. He's doing it again, and he makes it. King Bean with the lap 1 and lap 3 bowl cuts. Interesting pattern.
Yeah, he seems a little unsure as to how he wants to handle it. Maybe he thought after a crash it was probably worth the risk, I don't know.
Oh, Paige with another death. I think that's 2 deaths total. And it looks like King Bean's gonna take this here. Oh, with nearly a 5-minute flat race time. And Paige with her 3rd death, unfortunate. But that's King. Oh, it's kind of a weird jitter there.
Oh, almost got soft lock there in the rock.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. And tying across the finish line. All right. So that is 1 win, King Bean. And we move on to our permabans. King Bean with the obvious first ban in Bunta training course, as Paige is a very strong racer on that course.
And we see Fire Mountain Rally from Paige.
Oh, interesting. Abyss as King Bean's second permaban. Yeah, I believe Paige has a very strong skip record in tournament for that track.
Yeah, makes sense. I agree with those bans from King Bean, really. Okay, and it looks like Bunta Classic, which is the track from the film, that's being permanently banned for this session today from Paige.
Yeah, so that's no tattooing today. And our first temp pod ban from Paige is Bull's Roar. Okay. That might be signaling no upgrades, Tech, you think?
Yeah, possibly. There's not much other reason, although it could just be a throwaway, couldn't it? I mean,
yeah. True. King Bean banning, temp banning Malistar 100, another one of Paige's strong suits, and Paige picking Aquilar's Classic.
That's interesting. I expect that to be competitive.
Yeah, for sure. Aquilar's Classic is always a close one. By forces, we mean that the player who lost the previous race has the option to force a certain condition for the upcoming race. So they can force no upgrades, force skips, or they can force an additional temp pod ban. And they have 3 total per match. But it looks like Paige is going to leave this just a standard match, it looks like.
Yeah, well, you've got to have the Force in Star Wars games.
That's right.
Yeah, so probably will be a straightforward vanilla race. You know, Ben Quadinaros here from both players. It's pretty much guaranteed. Ben Quadinaros, obviously the best pod for all but 2 tracks, as is known today. Gravine Gateway and Fire Mountain Rally being the two in question, where Bullseye is the fastest pod.
We'll likely see King Bean taking his right route on both the figure 8 and that section after the start.
Yeah, he really likes that route, doesn't he? I guess it's probably about the same. I can't imagine it has any real advantage, but I think he just prefers it.
Yeah, apparently the new meta on this track is to bring along an AI opponent, because it seems to offset the door pattern, where you get a better line, I think, is it second and third lap? There's something new, but it seems both players have not implemented that strategy yet.
Yeah, from what I've heard, that's how it works. Yeah, it's a this new strategy is of bringing along an AI racer on this track is, I think it's just a small advantage. It's not a major difference, but I imagine it saves probably 3 or 4 tenths, perhaps. Just a slightly better line through that section.
Yeah, probably more applicable to actual speedrunning ILs rather than a tournament match. But you never know. At this level of racing, there's always a second to be gained or lost.
Yeah, it's certainly worth doing, I think. Perhaps they just haven't had enough time to practice it, feel confident with it yet.
All right, looks like we're off here, and the sync is in early. There we go. Oh, King Bean already with a slight lead here. Must have just been a different heat pattern. Paige on higher heat. And it's always this last figure 8 to watch out for as far as anything exciting on this track.
Yeah, the final lap in particular, it's rather tricky to get that short boost in just for the last turn.
Looked like King Bean had a slight lead there. I couldn't quite tell from the times.
Yeah, I think King Bean's got a 0.22 second lead at the moment, at least at the line. Yeah, Paige had more heat to use though, so this is pretty much right next to each other at the moment.
Clean second figure 8. Still an incredibly tight race right now. Look at that, like a 5/10 or 5/100th difference on the second lap times.
Yeah, so it seems King Bean's made up quite a bit of time on that second lap, actually, looking at that.
Paige struggling with her heat a little bit, and losing or cutting the boost there might not end well.
Yeah, she's going to need to boost again, or rather she did for that section. That's obviously a little bit costly.
And here's our final figure 8. And it's going to be King Bean with just a second exactly. Yeah, look at that. Wow. All right, that's another win for King Bean.
Very nice time as well, we should say. 237.4 is very good.
Moving right along. Paige banning bowls again. And King Bean, the same temp ban as before, Mountain Star 100. And Paige taking us to Beto's Wild Ride. And again, no forces. Oh, okay. So there's talk of going tent here, which is I understand it's a more risky strategy with a very slight advantage. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe using the tent is faster, but I don't. At least I've not seen either player use it in tournament yet. So it's interesting they're discussing it. So maybe we will see them both using that route in this race, perhaps.
It's a very high risk maneuver, hitting that tent, but also the exit on Beetleswald Ride, especially because it doesn't lead to the shortcut that you see on the other Ando Prime tracks. It takes a very sharp left turn into a hill.
Yeah, I might say that the exit is perhaps more high risk than the entry. I mean, obviously, because it's the ground's covered in ice, so it's when you fly over ice for whatever reason, you lose traction. So it's you have to be very precise with your line to survive there.
Yeah, there's also a that tent section also counts as fast terrain, where it'll give you 200 bonus speed. So you'll be cruising down there and not be expecting to have that much speed going into that turn.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I've never actually thought about that, but it makes perfect sense. And I think that's the actual reason why it's faster, because I think when you actually look at the map, the actual line is like it's no shorter to use that line, but I think the speed is what makes it worthwhile. Well, King Bean's practicing tent, so maybe he'll use that.
Yeah, Paige said she would try to match that, but we'll see how it goes.
could have some bluffing going on here.
that would be a great way to psych out your opponent, is to try to encourage them to do a high risk maneuver.
Like sort of Star Wars poker, like picking skips and then not doing skips or something.
Oh, isn't it? Is it Sabak? Is that the game that they play? Oh, Paige with a very early death on this initial tunnel.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's one of the most common places, I would say, to crash on this track.
Yeah, and what's unfortunate with an early death like that is that it often encourages players to try more aggressive strategies and a more aggressive playstyle, which often leads to even more deaths. So we'll see if perhaps King Bean will mess up on the tent here. See how it goes.
Yeah.
And Paige, tent as well, but a bit slower. And the exit, clean for King Bean. Same for Paige, but again, just a little hairy.
Yeah, it's sort of a good way to lose all your fingernails, really, watching that.
Yeah, this is some edge of your seat stuff right here. All right, lap 2 tent. And it's clean.
Yeah, it was quite a close call, actually.
And the exit as well. Paige. Oh, what happened? Wait a second.
Oh.
What did he die on?
How did King Bean crash? I was watching Paige and...
Oh no! What did Paige die on? We just saw two very unusual deaths, I would say.
I think that's that back of the pod death, like when if the back of the pod hits a wall, you just die. So like if you're sliding while you hit a wall, it can result in a death.
Yeah, there was a moment there where the gap was going to get really narrow, but yeah, unfortunately now it's King Bean's final stretch here, and it looks like he's going to take win 3. All right, back to the bands. We see Paige banning Bullseye, King Bean again banning Malister 100, and Paige taking us to Mongaza Speedway. That's right. So in warm-ups for this match, Paige was practicing Mongaza Speedway and got her sub 40, which she uploaded.
Nice.
Getting a 39.96.
Yeah, Paige seems to like a lot of amateur tracks today.
Yeah, by far her best circuit. Okay.
I don't know what King Bean's personal best is on Mongaza Speedway, actually.
Is he in top 5? Let's find out.
He certainly has a 39 second lap. 3 lap time.
He is not top 5. So it's at least greater than 39.615. All right, yeah, this race is incredibly short and probably leads to the most upsets just for how tight some runners want to take it, and leading to like a 1 death run is about the par.
Yeah, I think we could see either 2 very, very good times or 2 very, very bad times.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I think the good question is who did more worse, yeah.
Yeah, Paige seems to be backloading all her forces, if she is even planning to use them, but we'll see. Hopefully she can take this one. Yeah, we haven't seen a sub 40 in tournament, but it is a very tricky time to get.
Yeah, we certainly see it in qualifying. Although I thought maybe we had a 39 now, like
perhaps in qualifying, you're right. Yeah, that's right. Ace and Domare and Banana Boat Kid all have sub 40 times in qualifying.
You know, just upsetting Ace here.
Was that this year?
Yeah, I think so. I thought I'd seen a 39. Yeah.
Okay, perhaps it's not in the database yet. All right, they're off, and a clean first lap for both. Paige with a slight lead.
Ooh, close.
Going around the hairpin, looks like King Bean might have made up some time. No, he's not getting his full boost. Paige with the lead here.
Oh yeah, let's see.
Around the hairpin, into the last corner. Don't hit it. Paige takes it. Wow.
That was a nice run.
Very nice.
Yeah,
All right, that's
deserved win, I think, from Paige there.
Yeah, very good pick from her, taking it here. All right, so now King Bean banning Bullseye, Paige banning Grabvine.
Yeah, I think he'd like to pick Fire Mountain Rally, but obviously that's banned, so he won't be picking that.
Yeah, I wonder what he's gonna take us to. All right, bumpies, no force. So we're gonna see the nice and long version.
I don't really associate kingbeandip with bumpies, really. It's kind of an interesting pick. Okay, so this should be quite a match then. So it seems that they were both preparing to pick this. So more than likely they'll both be playing Ben Quadinaris again.
With the more difficult sections of this track being the shortcut and maybe that hairpin in the back half.
Yeah, I think they're the two that sort of stand out. Nice personal best from Paige there on Bunter training course.
Yeah, with these longer tracks, it's almost more of an endurance test where it contrasts to the track we just saw. You're sort of just trying to maintain a clean level of play for the duration of the race.
Yeah, this first section, it's very easy to underheat through. It's a very twisty section, and then you get a little bit of a breather with the slight straight, and then the section which is shared by Aquelar's Classic and Sunken City in the shortcut. So it's essentially a mix of a lot of other tracks really on Aquelar's.
Yeah, you see that shortcut King Bean just took is pretty hard to take at full speed, where you'll often be tempted to at least brake or let off the acceleration.
And yeah, I think it is quite risky to try and do too much through that shortcut section. Just have to try and get a line that doesn't kill you, basically, is generally a good strategy there.
Just don't die. All right, here we are off. And we are we're on race, what is this, 5 now? Of our, Paige just understeering there, or wait a second. What happened there? All right, I guess we're back to even.
Well, yeah, I couldn't have predicted that, I've got to be honest.
It's so weird how they're dying sort of in tandem with each other.
Must be forced telepathics, I don't know.
Oh no, and Paige having trouble in that door section. Oh, King Bean making it through a very tight shortcut. Let's see how Paige does. Whoa.
Looks a bit dodgy.
Yeah, they're sort of showcasing a lot of very peculiar deaths. Like, I haven't really seen this sort of caliber of.
Yeah, King Bean was lucky to get away with it actually as well. It was very close.
Yeah, King Bean has a bit of a lead here.
Yeah, he's taking it rather safe actually in these hairpins.
Yeah, I don't blame him after first lap. Kind of a All right, now to the exciting back half. Again, the shortcut, a little dicey, but he makes it through. Paige makes it through the doors all right that time. And into her shortcut. Oh, that is a bad death. And yeah.
Yeah, that respawn's very mean.
This was, after all, King Bean's pick, so it looks like it's turning out for him. Oh, he is really just grazing that ceiling as he exits that jump.
Yeah, it's sort of thing that happens when you run with quite a low frames, really. Like your pod just kind of likes flying in the air.
Yeah, imagine they're on. Oh, King Bean with a. Oh, come on. They have to die in sync.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually what the net difference is in deaths anymore.
I think Paige might be leading. But yeah, you're right. It is pretty close. Oh, never mind. It's even again. But yeah, he's in the final section here. He might be nervous that Paige would have gone deathless. But no, he's fine with a 448 and a half.
Yeah, it was a nice last shortcut from Paige, actually. Not shortcut, the hairpin. Very nice last hairpin from Paige, I'd say.
Yeah, quite a wide gap on that track, but we'll see how the next race goes in our match point. It's Paige's pick here.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any forces used so far from either player.
It'll be interesting what Paige might pull out here, if she's planning on just sort of stacking all the forces in one, or maybe, buffering out for maybe another match. But yeah, that's all based on if she can break serve on the next one.
Yeah, I think probably we might see either kind of an all-in or not at all sort of scenario, perhaps with the forces maybe. So we're getting the same temporary bans for this next track with no bowls and Master 100 banned again from kingbeandip. Oh, here we go. So we're seeing...
we have our forces, but we don't have the track.
Any track, I guess.
Okay, this will be interesting.
Okay, so we're going to Spice Mine Run, and we're going to see the pods that have been banned for this include Bowls, Ben, and Sebulba, and it's also no upgrades.
Yeah, so what does that leave?
Because it leaves pods like Eldar and Mars and Ellen Mac, etc. Although, actually, Ellen Mac's terrible with no upgrades, so that's not really good advice.
Yeah, I guess we have to turn to King Bean's simulator here. Let's see what his simulator gives. So Spice Mine with, let's say 30 FPS. No upgrades. So yeah, Bowls, Ben, and Sebulba are banned. So yeah, that does leave Aldar, Mars, and Bullseye. Actually, Aldar is clearly the favorite there.
I think no upgrades. Spice Mine Run is a very good track for beginners to play because you really get a good idea about how to manage your boost effectively. And it's obviously doesn't have too many complicated corners, so it's a good beginner's track in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's very straightforward, and your main focus is going to be your heat. You're not really worried about any turns or any complicated maneuvers.
Yeah, I think a lot of the newer players just struggle simply with the upgraded pods just to use all of their boost on the track just because the pods cool down relatively so quickly.
This certainly is an all or nothing approach here, with Paige just stacking all her forces here, so hopefully she can take another one and we can see a race 8, would it be? Yeah. Maybe I'm doing my math wrong. Race 7.
Yeah, well, I would think that Paige could certainly have the advantage here if she's specifically prepared this, because, again, it's a track that really requires a lot of preparation in terms of, managing boost timings and that sort of thing. So, you know, and know which pod you're going to play and just how you're going to approach the track. So it's, you know, it's a good pick really potentially for Paige.
Yeah, and with the focus being entirely on heat and boost management, it'll be interesting to see the different approaches to maybe how their boost timings line up, and maybe we'll see one player in front of the other, but really we're counting on no one crashing, because that would really sort of throw a wrench in it.
Yeah, we don't want to see any crashes in this race, to be honest.
Yeah, especially no upgrades. You'll lose just so much of that built-up speed you've obtained throughout the course of the race.
Yeah, I think even if you have the advanced knowledge on this in this scenario, a crash is probably going to lose the race for you. I think, you know, or at least having one more crash than your opponent, I should say.
And Beto with that lower traction might make that difficult with just the sort of sliding into walls, the potential there for not really getting the tight enough turns.
Yeah, I think if it's something you haven't practiced, it's the kind of thing where you have to kind of learn as you're going along, really. So you sort of learn from each lap as to how long pod takes to cool down and that sort of thing. Yeah,
you'll almost want to sort of count in your head as you boost and you hit max heat how long it takes to cool off. Because I think King Bean was actually reviewing Beto's stats prior, just to you kind of want to have that in your head for the timings, just to know, okay, I boosted last at 20 seconds. Now I need to cool off for however long Beto takes.
Yeah, I think with a little bit of practice and experience, obviously you can just use reference points for the same purpose, obviously.
Right, and they're off. But nice and slow, no upgrades, acceleration.
Yeah, Beto's, I believe, has the worst acceleration of any pod.
You might be right on that. Let me double check.
I think he and Rats Terrell have the lowest, if memory serves.
Yes, you're correct. All right, yeah, so already we see a slight difference in heat here where, King Bean catching fire there.
I think King Bean's actually slightly ahead, which is potentially bad news for Paige.
Yeah, I think he might have higher heat though. Oh, no, he actually has more heat to work with. And I guess it's all balancing out. Like I said, it's really going to be a lot of leapfrogging with the different boost timings.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because obviously, I mean, we've seen Bowls no upgrades on this track, but Aldar has much better cooling, which means you're going to need to boost a lot more frequently, and quite a long boost duration, but not quite as long as Bowls. So, it makes for some interesting patterns, really.
Do you see that? Am I seeing that right?
I think you are. I think we've got a tied first.
Incredible.
We see Paige has a slightly higher baseline speed, I think. So that could potentially make a difference over time of a lap. It sort of accumulates. Time just accumulates gradually. Which obviously over a long track like this can potentially be useful.
That's right, and not to mention this conveyor belt grants that fast terrain we were talking about earlier with the 200 bonus, which is very beneficial on no upgrades.
Yeah, we see kingbeandip using longer boost strategy after leaving the conveyor section than Paige.
It'll be interesting to see how the boost sort of evens out here. King Bean always leaving that section with a lot more heat to work with.
Yeah, we need to sort of pay attention to it as they're going over the line, really, just to get an idea as to where they actually are. As you say, King Bean with more to work with here. This long straight.
Yeah, there we see a very slight lead to King Bean, as you said, with that final boost timing. But it really all comes down to the very last boost. That's where it all matters.
Yeah, that's true, although I think it's a little easier with no upgrades because there's not quite as much urgency to boost through those final corners. So it's something that could potentially catch King Bean out if he's ahead, actually. He sort of like boost prematurely for the fight for the line. So King Beandip's changed his boost pattern slightly here for the final lap.
Oh, and he's catch fire. All right, into our corkscrew tunnels here.
Yeah, King Beandip's definitely ahead at this point.
And yeah, it looks like he's gonna take this.
Yeah, it was good result from King Bean there.
Yeah, with just a 2-second margin there. But yeah, overall, GG's to both the runners here, and that final race with the entire round of forces in one.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting seeing a greater variety of pods this year.
Yeah, wouldn't expect to see Betos in any other context than maybe Zelascalar with a Ben Man.
Yeah, he likes Beto, doesn't he?
Yeah, shout outs to Zelascalar if he's watching. We have both runners here, and congrats to King Bean and GG's.
Thank you.
That was a fun one.
Yeah, that was fun.
I was so mad at myself on Betos and Bumpies, though.
Yeah.
I died to the outside edge of the hair on Betos.
Yeah, there seemed to be a showcase of very unusual deaths between you two, and when you did die, it was always in sync. Like if you go back and watch, there was a lot of in sync deaths, which was very interesting to see.
Uh-huh.
I don't think either of us understood exactly what happened at Betos with King Bean, because we saw he took a crash around about the bridge, I think it was, but
Yeah, just before the bridge, I took the turn too tight, like the first boost coming out of the shortcut. And clicked the wall there. I think that's what it was.
Did you hit the inside wall then?
Yeah.
I got you.
Not in the shortcut, but like right after it.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So if I either hadn't found a way to discover a new death on Betos, or hadn't had a ghost input on lap 1.
Yeah.
My right air key just stuck and threw me into the rock.
I gotta say though,
You were trying to skip hunt on Bumpies, actually.
Don't even ask about Bumpies. That was... In practice, I was getting in the like upper 430s and 440s.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And then I just die 6 times.
Uh-huh.
Or 7? It was bad.
Yeah, Bumpy's was rough for me. I died. My first death was on lap 1. Right after the hairpin sections, there's the jump, and if you boost too high, you hit the ceiling there, you know? So I did that. And then
my first death was bouncing around really oddly in the last turn of the hairpins, and then just not having control and winding up getting thrown into the outside edge.
My second death was on lap 3. I was, approaching the doors, and my brain had just shut down. It was on autopilot, and then I sort of wake up. I'm like, oh wait, these are the doors. Where are the doors? Remember and fail. So that was an interesting death.
I don't think I died in the same spot twice, but I died like 6 or 7 times.
Ouch.
Like, I died on both sides of the shortcut. One hitting the wall at first, and then one getting bounced around a bit and hitting the, like, weird little jut after the shortcut that you gotta go out around.
Yeah.
Died once on the doors when I just didn't drift hard enough left on the transition.
I was surprised you didn't take me to Scrappers.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
Well, I had the tracks I had that I was considering. Obviously, there was like the ones I did pick: Aqualeris, Betos, MGS. But I also was looking at Vengeance, Sunken City, Abyss skips that you banned.
Yep. I could smell that one.
Yep. I'm just looking at my notes right now. I've got looking at the Galactic tracks. It's no, not likely, hell no, maybe, nope, nope, nope. I'm not touching those against you.
In my original strategy, I wasn't going to ban M100. I was going to ban Inferno instead. So you can do Inferno skips.
Yeah. See, I thought when you left it up that you had practiced it.
Yeah, I was practicing M100 really heavily.
Well, I'm talking about Inferno. When you left that
Inferno.
up, I thought you had been practicing it, so I didn't take you to it.
Nope, I didn't practice Inferno skips.
God damn.
Yeah, I was considering letting you take me to M100 because I'm like, well, he'll certainly pick it, but it's at least a known track that I can prepare for, you know?
Yeah.
And then at the last minute, I'm like, no, I'll ban that one.
Would have been a fun one, though. We would have been able to put on a show.
Yep.
That nobody went for DD skips. Yeah, I wasn't going to take him there. He got a 36 there last night. Meanwhile, I have...
Speaking of new strategies, though, you were showcasing the new Gauntlet bowl cut.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, so I knew that Paige wasn't going to do it, so I was like, I'll just do it lap 1. And that'll put me far enough ahead that he can't win. And then I died right before the tube on lap 2, and then I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta do it lap 3 too.
Yeah, we sort of picked up on that strange pattern where you did it only laps 1 and 3 as sort of like a buffer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then
my laps...
I didn't know if that would be enough, but I crossed the line at 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, that should be good enough.
And I had 3 deaths there and got what? 519 with 3 really terrible deaths.
Okay.
So no, I probably wouldn't have gotten below a 502, 503.
Yeah.
Yeah, you crashed in some slightly strange places, Paige, we thought.
On every track where I died, it was weird.
Yeah, no kidding. But Mongaza Speedway, though, that was a completely clean track, which was really fun to watch, and to see Paige get a win just by a very small margin. So a great pick there.
We were both so sloppy on that track.
Yeah, Mongas was a good race. We both enjoyed watching that one a lot.
Mongas is a fun one.
Oh, and in this last race on Spice Mine, you guys had a tied first lap.
To the 100th?
To the 100th.
Wow. Nice. I'll have to see that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. No, it was.
Were we synced up? Like, were the streams synced well too?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was just looking at it like, am I saying that right?
I don't know if we've ever had that. Oh wait, I just noticed that is King Bean's first track loss of the tournament.
Oh, yep.
Oh really?
Congratulations.
His point differential is no longer perfect.
I was really hoping to go, 20-0 like Ace did last year.
Well, Ace isn't doing it this year.
Nope. Well, yeah, he
already
lost
lost
a
one.
track on a technicality.
Well, yeah.
He forgot to turn off the spectator sheet and forfeited one race.
The the spectator sheet has actually turned out to be quite the contender here.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the score sheet won that one really.
Yeah, well played to both our runners, and thank you guys for watching this match. We'll see you guys in the next one, and thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting this match as always, and thank you to Mikey Burger for joining me today.
Thank you very much.
GG's.
GG's, that was a fun one.
Yeah, good luck in your next matches as well.